yoga instructor, supple and sweet with impeccable form. You tell yourself that you could have fucked her, but you were too busy with internet porn. Lovely Elaine offered care and affection. You might have been the one she adored. Took you forever to get an erection, and when you looked up she was out of the door. Don't despair, sweet child. And the Night Queen's gonna make everything alright. You may do the walk of shame come morning light, but your Midnight Queen's gonna hold you tight, and he promised it's just one last time. Jose Luis was a fella from Grindr, 'cause desperate times call for desperate needs. He only served as a painful reminder that you weren't designed for that kind of misdeed. Amelia kept you deep in the friend zone, pills and persuasion that earned you a date. But you know what happened with too many benzos. Offended and ended, you just masturbate.
Quick check. Jenna Marie was a yoga instructor, supple and sweet with impeccable form. You tell yourself that you could have fucked her, but you were too busy with internet porn. Lovely Elaine offered care and affection. You might have been the one she adored. Took you forever to get an erection, and when you looked up she was out of the door. Don't despair, sweet child. And the Night Queen's gonna make everything alright. You may do the walk of shame come morning light, but your Midnight Queen's gonna hold you tight, and he promised it's just one last time. Jose Luis was a fella from Grindr, 'cause desperate times call for desperate needs. He only served as a painful reminder that you weren't designed for that kind of misdeed. Amelia kept you deep in the friend zone, pills and persuasion that earned you a date. But you know what happened with too many benzos. bad and feeling dejected, all dressed up and sexed up with nowhere to go. There's always one name in your long list of exes that you can depend on and never say no. Everyone needs someone to rely on, a lover who cares when you're broken and small. One day you'll find the shoulder to cry on. Till that day comes, you know who to call. Don't despair, sweet child. Your midnight queen's gonna make everything alright. You may do the walk of shame come morning light.
Testing, testing, check, check. Testing, testing, check, check. All right, everybody, welcome back to IUF1 Championship Tier Division. This is a no assist tier, and tonight we will be racing at Portugal, and it is round 18 of season 7. So, with that said, let's do a quick shout out to our music provider Solfang and our league sponsor AXCEL. Alright, so now we're just waiting for these guys, for the game to load up, and then we could start our one-shot qualifying, as it is a sprint race weekend, sprint race here at Portugal. So we're going to have a one-shot qualifying, sprint race, and then the full race. So the sprint race will be 11 laps, while the full race will be 33. Anytime now. Alright, here we go. They are off, and this is a one-shot qualifying, so what we are going to do is stick to the front driver, and as they are switching back and forth, MFG and Meebinator is going... MFG is now in P1, but Meebinator takes a place. And now we have a huge shuffle going on, so this is just a one-shot qualifying. You can only see the one car, so it's not that exciting, but we do have basically 2 races, so there's going to be a lot of action going on. And then these guys, since they're going to have 11 laps of practice driving with one another, I believe that's going to make the race, the full race, just that much better. Alright, right now we got Kudo in the league. Meebinator is dropping back and forth between P2 and P4. So it is a very, very tight qualifying session for a lot of these guys. And right now, Sabi Nomira, as he is one of the new... We have quite a few new drivers here tonight, actually, as well. I'll point them out as we go on throughout the racing. But it looks like Kudo is your pole sitter for the one-shot qualifying at Portugal. We'll get the official list in just a second. Alright, so there you go. That was your Portuguese Grand Prix one-shot qualifying. And P1 will be AXV Kuto in the Mercedes. P2 goes to Dante in the Aston Martin. P3 goes to Meebinator in the Williams. Then follows Lucky Dredude, Gary 5000, Neffel, MFG, Rob Stark, Oliveira, Portugal, Sabino, and then Leo Hamilton and Lethal Strike was disqualified. So we're going to take a short break here. It's going to be a 2-minute break before the sprint race, and then after the sprint race we will have another 5-minute break, so we will be back soon. I actually messed that up. Sorry. 2-minute break is should be right now.
yoga instructor, supple and sweet with impeccable form. You tell yourself that you could have fucked her, but you were too busy with internet porn. Lovely Elaine offered care and affection. You might have been the one she adored. Took you forever to get an erection, and when you looked up she was out of the door. Don't despair, sweet child. Your midnight queen's gonna make everything alright. You may do the walk of shame come morning light, but your midnight queen's gonna hold you tight, and you promise it's just one last time. Jose Luis was a fella from Grindr, 'cause desperate times call for desperate needs. He only served as a painful reminder that you weren't designed for that kind of misdeed. Amelia kept you deep in the friend zone, pills and persuasion that earned you a date. But you know what happened with too many benzos? Offended and ended, you just masturbate. Don't despair.
All right, folks, we are back from our 2-minute break between one-shot qualifying and the sprint race. This is going to be 11 laps around Portugal. And you guys saw earlier exactly what happened during the one-shot qualifying, but here we go. They are lined up. And they are off, and it is a rain race here tonight. AXB Kudo got a clean getaway with Dante in P2, and Meebinator was getting side by side with Dre Dude early on, but then Meebinator got back up into P3, and look, right now we already have one driver spun out. That will be Lucky. And it looks like the midfield is having a big issue with the wet track here, but Lethal Strike went ahead and got past MFG for a nice overtake halfway through the race, or the first lap. But here we go. It is raining right now, so there will be no DRS available until it clears up a little bit more. But it looks like Kudo is starting to inch away from being safe from DRS if this rain dries up and gets activated. But it looks like the top three are starting to leave the rest of the field, with Dre Dude in P4 is just under 2 seconds behind Meebinator, and then follows with Neffel, Oliveira, Lethal Strike, MFG, Sabino, Portugal, Lucky, Gary, and then Rob Stark was just got a pass on Leo Hamilton. We just got to the ending of that one. It looks like right now Meebinator is trying to start making some moves here. He is just right on the back end of Dante here. It looks like right now there's not going to be much. These guys have to be very careful in the wet. They have no ABS, no traction control. So there you go right there. Meebinator did go wide coming through that turn. It looks like the front brakes probably locked up on him just a little bit. And then there you have it. MFG scraping some gravel off the edge of the track. All right, I mean, this is as much as it looks like. Whoa, Gary almost met the side pod of Portugal's. It looks like Gary's starting to make some moves. He's looking pretty comfortable in the back, and yeah, he does. Portugal goes way wide into the final couple turns, and Gary 5000 got the pass. Right now, it looks like Neffel is trying to fight on to RedBeard, trying to take that P4 position here. He is very close. Just 3/10 behind. Can he get ahead? It doesn't look like not yet. It's not quite there, but he is very close. So he should be able to have a good chance once they get out of Sector 2 to make this pass. It looks like right now the entire field is spreading. Everybody except for Neffel and Rob Stark is close to the person in front of them. But now it looks like Neffel is on the attack. It's looking like he's trying to fight RedBeard, trying to make him make a mistake. Can he get through? Doesn't quite look like it yet. He's not burning. I think he's just playing with them at this point. And in all reality, I believe he could have made that pass if he wanted to burn through. But it is only lap 4 of 11, so he may be playing the long game here. Playing smart so no incidents occur in the wet whenever he has a driver attacking him from behind. This entire track is like a roller coaster with the sweeping bends, the up, downs, roundabouts. I mean, you get a little bit of everything. All it needs is a loop-de-loop. Let's see if he's going to try to make a pass here. Come on, you're close. You can go for it. There you go, he's burning just a bit, but he did back off. Alright, now everybody else is starting to spread up, and look at this 4-car lineup back here. We got Oliveira in P7, Sabino in P8. Sabino Mira is one of the new drivers here for Champions Division as well. And we have MFG running up the mid. And then Lucky. It looks like they are going to start fighting here just a bit. And now Oliveira has a 3-second time penalty crossing that line. But Sabino gets ahead of Oliveira as Oliveira does make a mistake. And now he is starting to break free from that 4-car lineup. And now it looks like MFG is under fire from Lucky and the AlphaTauri behind him. He is very close, almost touching the rear of that Haas. Let's see if he can get past on this very long front stretch. It looks like he's going to back out and he's not going to try. Oh, he's going to the right. No. Oh, he's just doing a little fake out there. I mean, he is awfully close. You definitely see a lot of these drivers right now respecting the wet conditions, but now it looks like it has stopped raining and there is a line coming up, but it is lap 6 of lap 11. So I really don't believe, actually no, look at that, right before I even said it, I didn't think anybody was going to pit, but Rob Stark that was in the back, he is now pitting. Let's see what he put on. He did put on some mediums. All right. And now Neffel with the fastest lap at a 126.09. I don't believe anybody else is going to pit. I believe that even if this track does dry up, I mean, you could run the... You just have to make sure that the inters don't get too hot, so you just have to slow down earlier on the corners and you're good to go. But it's going to be interesting if everybody else does pit and if he's actually gaining time on the slicks versus the intervals, but it doesn't look like he's actually doing that great, as that time isn't moving up yet. He's actually losing time. And now we have Leo pitting as well for some mediums, while everybody else is on the inter still, and Kudo is just gone away from the rest of the field. He has a 5.4 second lead, and it looks like it's growing by the second. And Dante is still in P2, followed behind Meebinator. It looks like they have a lapped car possibly in front of them. Yep, and there you go. It was a lapped car. And it looks like a bunch of cars are going off track now. Just waiting to see what these drivers could do here. Doesn't look like really anybody. Leo now has another 3-second time penalty as well. It looks like Oliveira is the closest driver to trying to pass somebody. So we're going to come back down here to P10 as Oliveira is trying to overtake MFG in that Haas. And it looks like he's burning, but so is MFG. And it looks like MFG is just a slightly faster on these straights, but MFG goes way off track and loses out to P9 for Oliveira. It's like he just came into that corner just a little too hot for these conditions. But now Dante has passed. Actually Dante is getting closer to losing out on that P2 position as Meebinator's just right behind him. But nothing has really changed for the top three this entire race. Meebinator dropped down to P4 on the first lap and then came back up and took his spot that he got back. It looks like MFG is trying to catch up again. Try to take back that position that he lost out on from that little mishap that he made. It is lap 10 of 11. So now once they cross this line, this will be the final lap and the final chance for any driver to start up higher on the grid for the full race that we will have shortly after this. And here you go. You have Kudo just trying to make the last couple of turns. As long as he keeps it on track, he will get P1. And now he's just on the finish line here shortly. He is on the straight. And he is safe. And there you have it. Kudo crossed the line. And he will be your winner here at Portugal for the sprint race. And then Dante, Meebinator, and Neffel. Followed by Lethal Strike, Dre Dude, and Sabanomira. All right, there. Now you have it. Your driver of the day will be Lethal Strike, and he is a new driver for the championship tier division here at IUF1. And here is your official grid order for the sprint race. It will be AXV Kudo for your P1, followed by Meebinator, Dante, Neffel, Lethal Strike, Dre Dude, Sabino, Lucky, MFG, Oliveira, Gary 5000, Portugal, Leo Hamilton, and Rob Stark. Alright folks, we will be taking a 5-minute break before we get back to racing for the full 33 lap race. So we will see y'all soon.
Was a yoga instructor, supple and sweet with impeccable form. You tell yourself that you could have fucked her, but you were too busy with internet porn. Lovely Elaine offered care and affection. You might have been the one she adored. Took you forever to get an erection. She was out of the door. Don't despair, sweet child. Your midnight queen's gonna make everything alright. You made you the walk of shame. Was a fella from Grindr, 'cause desperate times call for desperate needs. He only served as a painful reminder that you weren't designed for that kind of misdeed. Amelia kept you deep in the friend zone. Pills and persuasion that earned you a date. But you know what happened with too many benzos. Offended and ended, you just masturbate. Don't despair, sweet child. Your midnight queen's gonna make everything alright. You made you the walk of shame come morning light. But your midnight queen's gonna hold you tight. And you promise it's just one last So when you're done bad and feeling dejected, all dressed up and sexed up with nowhere to go, there's always one name in your long list of exes that you can depend on and never say no.
that day comes, you know who to call.
All right, folks, we are back for the full race here at Portugal. The race will be starting in less than 20 seconds here. Now we hear the countdown timer. So they are formed up on the grid. All right, here you have it. Formed up, ready to go. And it looks like Kudo, Meebinator is trying to go through, but Kudo was able to stay behind. It looks like a lot of drivers went off track as well on the first turn. And we have multiple different tire strats here, from medium, softs to hard, spread out across the entire field. But here you go, back in the back, P7, P8, P9. They are fighting hard. Right now we are on board with Sabino in the Williams. Again, he is a new driver here. And it looks like everybody right now is so close. And we are definitely going to be missing one or two of these overtakes that I believe is going to be happening here shortly. A lot of these drivers do not like to save their battery as much as the rest, so they will push as hard as they can at the beginning of the race to try to make up as many positions as possible so that later on they will have a better chance. But it looks like Kudo is already 1.3 seconds ahead of Meebinator, and then Neffel is close behind Meebinator, just a little over half a second. And that basically goes on with the rest of the grid, but here you have it right there. Dredu does get a pass onto Lethal Strike towards the end of the front straight. And he was able to make his way up to P5 because of that move. Now you have Dante right on the tail end of Neffel. But then now he is getting sandwiched through. Was he able to? He was able to keep that position. That was very close. It looked like they were trying to go 3 wide there on that downhill left. And there you go with Kudo again with the fastest lap with the 120.1. Leo is trying to make his move, but he just couldn't get ahead. But now it looks like Oliveira got a really bad slip, and Leo was able to get through with no incident. But then he is now getting attacked by Oliveira again. Just in that race, but now it looks like he is okay and ready to try to keep that P9 position. Dredu goes a little wide, crosses the white line. This just looks like one massive DRS train. It's almost like Austria, where once you get out of line, you are not going to be happy. It looks like Lucky thought about making a move, but he just wasn't close enough. Alright, here we go. In the back, we got Rob Stark in the Aston Martin. In P13, Portugal in the McLaren. MFG follows up in the Haas. It looks like Lethal Strike is right on the tail end of Dante. He was very close for a moment. And now Gary 5000 in the back gets a pass on up into P10 off of Oliveira. But it looks like in this whole top 5 to I'd say about the whole top 5, they just cannot make any grounds against the car in front of them. And everything has just been staying almost exactly the same. But here you go. Is Lethal Strike going to be the one? And yes, he is on the turn 1. He gets past. Oh, and now they both bump and wreck. And now Lucky is falling down the order. Went all the way down to P9 after getting that pass on Lethal. Alright, now we have Dante in P5. He is very close to Dre Dude once again, but can he keep this gap close up so he could try to get the pass on that front stretch? It looks like these drivers are not wanting to make any mistakes throughout Sector 2, which is which is the hardest sector of this track. And it looks like Dante's touch. Oh, he just touches him right in the back just a little bit. Dre Dude slows up. He bumps him again. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it looks like he is gonna be in trouble. DRS is on. Dante's taking the inside line, and he gets the pass off of And now we have Leo Hamilton spinning out, falling all the way down the order to P12. And now MFG has gotten the pass up. No, and Oliveira's taking it back. He said, not today. And right now, currently on lap 6, it looks like Meebinator is getting closer to Kuto. He is just at that 1 second delta time from the leader of this race. It's looking like these softs have not died yet. And he is just flirting with that DRS range. He just cannot quite get it yet, but he may get that soon. And then it's going to be a battle for P1. And now you have Leo Hamilton with a 3-second time penalty, followed by Lethal Strike with a 3-second time penalty. Uh-oh, now it looks like Neffel may be in some trouble. As Dante is right on the back end of that Haas. And it does not look like Neffel's going to have DRS. Got a very bad laggy audio. But here you go. Dante does have DRS and he gets the pass on up into P3 right before turn 1. But Dante is not taking that too kindly. He is right on the back of Dante. So I believe that this fight is not going to be over just yet. It looks like right now Dante is safe. He did pull away from him quite a bit. And here we have Meebinator. He's still trying to make his way up to Kudo. And there you go. Lethal Strike has now made a pass on RedBeard before turn 1 again. It looks like all the passes is going to be happening on that one turn or front stretch. MFG got back into P10, passing Oliveira. And it looks like Meebinator is very close. Still flirting with that 1 second, dropping in and out. If he could get up close, then he may have a chance to start leading this race. If he could just get into that DRS, this is his best chance right here. This is the best chance that he's had all night. And it doesn't look like it quite yet. But these top two are just starting to pull away from the rest of the pack here. Will one of these drivers get a move? It looks like RedBeard is off the line again. He may have one chance left before he gets a penalty. And here we go. Meebinator is only 7/10 behind Kudo now, so he will have DRS and he will be able to start getting pulled up closer and closer. As long as he can keep this gap, this is going to be pretty interesting to watch. It looks like he's gonna have it, so this is gonna change the dynamics of this front runner, these two front runners here. But now you have Lethal Strike. It will be the first one to pit, so he will drop down the order. Okay, people are now pitting, but Oliveira does get a pass on the MFG, and he gets up into P9. All right, let's go back up to these top two racers. Kudo is currently leading, but Mubinator has found his way into the DRS range for against Kudo, and these two drivers do not have any worries behind them right now. It's looking like right now those softs are not playing too well in Sector 2, as he has lost a little bit of time from what he gained on that front stretch with the DRS. But he is still there. It looks right now the rest of the field is just spread out. Nobody has DRS except for MFG is flirting back and forth in the 1 second. We've had quite a few drivers pit here as well. I'm sorry, we only had one driver pit, so maybe we will start seeing this grid order change. As long as Mubinator can keep that time the same, he'll have a good chance later on. And it looks like Rob Stark has spun and fallen down to P14. Alright, we're going to drop down over to Sabino in the Williams. He is right on the tail end of Dre Duder coming up the front stretch. DRS is activated, and he is just going to make this a textbook pass on the front stretch into turn 1. No issues and no problems. And now Oliveira has another 3-second time penalty for crossing the white line. Right now we're going to go down onto MFG. Is still battling Oliveira. They have been switching places all night long. Oh, and it looks like now Mubinator will be the second driver to pit, the first driver in the front. And Mubinator decided to go on to the mediums. Alright, we're going to go back up onto P3. This is DOT Neffel in the Haas, and he is right on the back of Dante for P2 currently. All right, now Neffel and Kudo has decided to pit. And now it looks like Meebinator's making a pass up onto MFG for P9. And he will be getting a DRS stretch that will see him all the way past. But he's still... Oh, and he does. He gets in front of Kuto. And now Meebinator does have the fresh, the softer compound tires. So right now, Meebinator should be net for P1 once the rest of the grid goes ahead and pits. Let's see. P1 to P4 has yet to pit, followed by P8 and P9. Alright, but here we go. Up to Sabino. He is very close behind RedBeard here. Sabino is on 14 lap old hards, while RedBeard's on 14 lap old mediums. So RedBeard may need to pit around this time. But now Sabi will have the DRS, and that will pull him along for a better position later on. Alright, folks, now we got to switch. Gary 5000. Meebinator was going back and forth with him. But now it looks like Me was able to get the pass on. Was he able to? Yes, he was able to get in front through that nice sweeping uphill turn. Oh! Now lethal. Gary 5000 has now wrecked, and he also looks like he took out Kudo in the process as well, as he just got collected as when he spun. That is not what he wanted. But it looks like he has no damage. He did not go into the pits, so he's going to come right back and pass Lethal Strike for P4. And he is back where he was just now. He's going to have to fight a little bit harder to get up into the DRS range for Meebinator. As P1, which is Dante, and P2, Sabino, they did start on the hard tires and they have yet to pit. They are 16 laps old, and right now we are lap 17 of 33. So I don't know if these drivers are going to pit early for some mediums or if they're going to do the long run and try to switch out to the softs on the last couple of laps. So here you go. It looks like neither of those drivers, Gary 5000, did not receive any damage either, but he did fall out from P3 all the way to P8. I'm sorry, P4 all the way to P8. Right after Meebinator passed him, he was trying to get just to go a little too fast around that corner going up the up downhill turn in sector 2. Oh, and there he goes. He spins again onto the grass, and it is probably due to the the tires being so hot. Now you have Dante, which was leading this race recently, is just now pitted, and he is going on to the mediums. So now Sabino will have to pit shortly as well, I believe. So that will bring Meebinator and Kuto back up into P1 and P2. But because of that incident that Gary 5000 had, Kudo is now finding himself almost a little over 2 seconds behind Meebinator. So now, from pole sitter to sprint race winner, Now he's in adversity and trying to make up for that mistake from another driver. Here you go. Lucky is close behind Gary 5000 now. They're just coming halfway through Sector 2. Gary 5000 is on 17 lap old mediums as well. It looks like those tires are getting pretty slippery, especially with those two spins. So right now, Lucky is right on the tail end of him, and he is going to get that DRS. And he is going to make this pass look easy. And there you have it, folks. Lucky has made his way up to P2 after passing Gary on the front stretch. Now Kudo is slowly making his way up to Meebinator. He is just all over a second away. But now he also has Lethal Strike on his DRS range too, so he may have to worry about that shortly. It's looking like Kudo's gonna have the DRS on Meebinator. So this fight is back for P1 for Kudo. And there you have it. Sabino has pitted, and now he has a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But Kudo is back in this fight, and it looks like he's just getting out. But then now Dante has moved up into P4, passing Neffel. But Neffel is right on the back end of him. Oh, and he slips. And that will drop him back considerably with that mistake. He's still in the DRS range, but he could have possibly made, but now Lucky as well has passed. So now Lucky has found himself up into P7. There you go. Kudo is right on the back end of Meebinator here. It's looking like Kudo is gonna be your race leader here again shortly. And there you have it, folks. Kudo is back into P1, passing Meebinator on the front stretch. And it looks like Lethal Strike has spun out, and he has dropped quite a couple places. But now you have Sabino getting up into P6. Lethal Strike now has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well. But now back up top, you still have Meebinator close behind Kudo. So these boys are going to be fighting until one of them makes a grave mistake. Right now we are on lap 21 of 33. So we're about 3/4 of the way through this race. And now Lethal Strike has DNF'd from this race. A DNF on his debut here at IUF1. But once again, it looks like the field is spread out. Meebinator is the only one with DRS range. It's looking like it's going to be the Kuto and Meeb show. It looks like Meeb went wide. Now Sabino comes back with the fastest lap of the night with a 1:19. And there you go. It looks like something happened to Meebinator, and now he's found himself 2.5 seconds away from Kudo. So now this entire field is just spread out, except for these back two drivers giving us a little show. Portugal and Rob Stark making moves. Portugal goes a little wide. That may hurt him. These two back runners are both on the hard tires. No DRS in sight in front of for Portugal, but Rob Stark sure does have it. And he may be able to get through here. Yes, he will. He will make a move for P12. And then let's go back up to Sabino in the Williams. He is currently in P6, and he is now close behind Dre Dude once again. And it looks like now Portugal has a 3-second time penalty. Is he going to make the pass? Sabino does, and he gets in front of Dre Dude, and he does have fresher, almost brand new medium tires compared to Dre Dude's 7-lap old hards. You know, it looks like we have a ghosted car on the track. That is going to be a little bit of a distraction. But now Dante is finding himself close behind Meebinator. He is on fresher mediums. And it's looking like Meeb is going to lose out on P2 unless he could get a very good out on this final turn here. But it looks like Dante is matching him in skill right now, as he is sticking right to the same delta time. Now DRS will be activated, and he is just going to do a nice slide through. And Dante is now up to P2. But I'm sure Meebinator is not going to try to let that off so easily. And once again, field spread out besides one of the drivers from top three. It is lap 24 of 23, or 33. Field is currently spread out, so we're just going to have to wait until one of these drivers makes a mistake or finds the nitrous button hidden underneath their seat. Alright, right now we are not going to see much action at all here. So let's just watch our race leader do a couple parade laps around for these NPC fans in the stands. Alright, right now, currently for your penalties, Dante in P2 does have a 3-second time penalty, while P5, Sabino, has an 8 seconds worth of time penalties. Dre Dude in P6 has 6 seconds. Oliveira in P9, 3 seconds. Leo in P11, 3 seconds. Stark, P12, 3 seconds. And Portugal, P13, 3 seconds. Right now, everybody has pitted at least once. Besides Lethal Strike, he did a 2-stopper and DNF'd early on in the race. But right now, there is still a mix of tires from hards, mediums, and then the one lone soft tire driver, which is Gary 5000 in P10. But here we go, as I was just talking, trying to fill in the void. Dante has made his way up closer to Kudo. And he may, just may, be in the same situation that Meebinator early on found himself, to be able to battle for P1. He's still within that delta. And now Kudo may have to have a little bit of a worry, as Dante is starting to catch up ferociously fast. Dante was just earlier 1.3 seconds away, and now he's finding himself on the very back end of Kudo's Mercedes. It looks like now Dante is going to have a very good chance, just a little, about 4/10 behind Kudo, coming up to the front stretch, which is the longest stretch with DRS. He loses quite a bit of time on these last couple turns. Is he going to be able to have enough time and enough speed to get through? Let's see if he's going to send it. He's going to Leroy Jenkins it. Oh, and Kudo side by side. They were going side by side through each turn. But Dante backed out just enough so they did not collide. Oh, and now Dante has bumped Kudo and spun Kudo out. He has stopped, as I believe this is just out of respect to give him the place back. Yes, that just definitely just straight out of respect. That is good. But now, because of that incident, Meebinator has found himself leading the race after losing P1 to Kudo and Dante. And with Neffel 5 seconds behind Meebinator, all he has to do is bring it home, and he should be able to win his first Champions Tier race here tonight. And right now, the rest of the field is just very far spread out. I mean, it is ridiculous. Neffel 4.9 seconds behind Meeb. Kudo 5.3. Dante 7.8. I mean, it's just a long, but there you go. Dre Dude has spun out, and Lucky has found himself up to P6. I guess we know why they named him Lucky. And now Dante is pitting. I'm pretty sure that he will more than likely know. Dante is DNFing. He is retiring from this race. But now Kudo does just find himself still up to P3. And he is right on the back end of Neffel here. And Neffel also has a penalty. So if he could get through. He may find himself just up to a P2 for the end of this race. Kudo's now on the attack. The victim will be a Haas driver. And there you go. Kudo goes onto the inside of the front stretch and just gets straight through. And gets back up into P2. It was very unfortunate that he got collected and rear-ended, but accidents do happen. And Dante did back out and waited for him on the side of the track so that he wouldn't take the position from him. So that's great sportsmanship that you see here from Dante. And there you go. Kudo is P2. But now we have the rest of the field spread out except for Oliveira. It is pretty close behind MFG. I believe that these guys have been fighting all night, just like they were fighting all night last Monday. Oh, and it looks like Oliveira does a dive bomb. It almost rear ends MFG. Locked up the front tires really hard there. And there you have IUF1 MFG, the owner of IUF1. Alright folks, here we go. Neffel has found himself really close. After he kept up into the DRS range. Is he going to try it? No, he is not. He's going to play it safe back out. He's just going to wait for his next chance. So now Kudo is in a battle for P2 after getting spun out where he had P1. But that is racing. So now he's going to have to collectively try to gain everything he can out of that car to keep that P2 position away from Neffel in the Haas. And now Sabino with another 3-second time penalty. Oh, and look at that. It's looking like it's starting to rain, guys. The rain is coming down on the last couple of laps here at Portugal. It is lap 32 of 33, so 2 laps remaining in this race. And will Neffel be able to get past Kudo on track, even though Neffel does have a time penalty? I mean, every second counts. And if he could get past Kudo, many things could happen. And now they have a driver in front of them, which is going to be a distraction for Kudo, but I don't think it, no, they work good. Driver moves far out of the way. So these two will have a clean final laps worth of battles going on. Let's go back down to Oliveira. He is very close behind MFG now. It looks like these cars are getting real slippery on this wet track. MFG's defending nicely through the turns, making that car be as wide as it could be. Here you go, Oliveira, as we are watching him from MFG's rear point of view. Oliveira is close behind him. And it's looking like just a matter of time before he gets the pass to take P7 from MFG. And there you go, folks. He is gone. Alright, guys. Let's go back up to our race leader, Meebinator, in the Williams. This is the final lap of the race. He is coming through the final couple of turns. And this, as long as he gets it across the finish line, no mistakes on this last turn, this you will see a first race winner here at Champions Tier, which will be Meebinator. Followed behind by Kudo in the Mercedes and Neffel in the Haas. Well, I will say that the rain and a few incidents did upset this grid order quite a bit. With only 2 DNFs out of 14 drivers, I'd say it was a pretty decent race here tonight. Alright, folks, that is it for the Portugal race here tonight at Champions Tier for IUF1. We will shortly be getting the official order for the grid. And your driver of the day is Meebinator. Alright, folks, for your official finish line leaderboard for the race at Portugal, you have Meebinator, your winner of the day in the Williams racing car, followed by Kudo for P2 in Mercedes and Neffel for P3 in the Haas. And after that, it goes Savino, Lucky, MFG, Dre Dude, Dante, Oliveira, Lethal Strike, Leo Hamilton, Gary 5000, and no points will be awarded to P13 Rob Stark or P14 Portugal, as they did not, I don't believe that they completed enough laps. Alright, everybody, thanks for watching, and good night.